Right. Next up, we have Steve Spiro from Halotherapy Solutions. For those of you who don't know who Halotherapy Solutions are, they are one of the equipment providers in the industry, but I'm going to let Steve tell you a bit more about that. So welcome, Steve. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Erin. Thank you for having us. Halotherapy Solutions has been in business for about 8 years. We're now the largest supplier of halotherapy, dry salt therapy equipment in the world. We specialize in plug and play enclosures with halo generators. We also can do salt rooms, as well as we have a salt room in a box called the Halo Lounge.
Fantastic. So we've got you on here today to kind of share a little bit more about what is out there. I know we've got a lot of listeners who already have salt therapy businesses, but also those that may not yet have started their own business or thinking about getting into it. So I guess a really good place to start would be if you could explain to us where you see the current trends are in the wellness industry, perhaps.
Yeah, great question. And it's interesting. If you'd asked me, 3 years ago before COVID, I would answer differently now that we're hopefully post-COVID. So what started a little bit before COVID and has really accelerated is this concept of touchless treatments, touchless services. So you don't need a masseuse, you don't need an esthetician. And the beauty of that, as well, we all know, it's very hard to hire people, very hard to get great quality people, and quality people are expensive. With touchless services, you can literally just press a button and offer great treatments to people. So we're seeing a huge trend, a continued trend and acceleration of touchless therapy. The second big trend we've seen in the last, especially since COVID, is really people's focus and on the awareness of respiratory health, hygiene, and immunity. Obviously, COVID is a respiratory virus. Halotherapy, can really assist with that. And we've just seen more and more people just interested in keeping their immune system high respiratory wise. And third is this other concept is called therapy layering. And that's the other big trend where you combine multiple modalities into the same enclosure.
Well, that's a really interesting one. So if we wanted to talk a bit more about therapy layering, how can people add therapy layering with halotherapy? What is there out there that you can do?
So the two biggest products that we've seen or additional modalities is adding halotherapy to an infrared sauna. We did this custom engineering project with the number one infrared sauna company, Clearlight, about 3-4 years ago, where we added halo protectant sealant, so the salt wouldn't control the panels. And we also integrated the control panel of the halo generator into the control panel of the sauna. And it's great because people can now get either halotherapy by itself, they can get infrared by itself, they can get heated halotherapy where it's slightly warm, and they can get obviously halotherapy and infrared combined. So that's called our Halo IR. The second product, which we launched about a year ago, which is also growing very quickly, is halotherapy with red light. That's the Vitality Booth. And the Vitality Booth is great for skin rejuvenation, the benefits of halotherapy with all the respiratory and skin benefits, as well as muscle recovery. So those two products with the infrared and the red light have been just phenomenal for us. We're just seeing almost everyone using this now. That's what 90 to 95% of our business is now. People want personalized private enclosures that offer multiple modalities.
Oh, that's really interesting. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some people out there asking the question, well, why can't I just add halotherapy into my room that I've got and add in some red light or add some halotherapy into my sauna? I'm guessing there's probably quite a good reason for that.
Right. And there are different reasons based on different products. So take the salt with the infrared. Again, salt will corrode the panel. So we spent a long time, probably a year and a lot of money, re-engineering the Clearlight sauna so we wouldn't have that potential for salt corrosion. That's the most important thing. In terms of the red light, we currently have a patent pending on the combination of halotherapy and red light. So it's a patent. And again, what the red light does, it makes the salt even drier, and it also attaches to the salt so it absorbs into the respiratory system as well. So both very good products, super designed together. It's just not slapping a halo generator into another environment.
I know, like, winter's approaching where I am and also in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there thinking that this could actually be a wonderful combination, because you get the lovely warmth of the infrared. And then you've also got the benefits of the red lights, that they're brilliant for people who suffer with SAD and other things like that, especially with the lack of daylight. Now, if you're listening to this and wanting to know more about infrared, we are going to be speaking with Dr. Riley Duncan of Clear Light. He's going to be telling us all you wanted to ever know about infrared. So do tune in for that as well. So where are you seeing kind of the biggest market growth? You kind of mentioned a little bit around these kind of prefabricated cabins. Is that where you're really seeing the main growth in halotherapy?
Yeah, it's become like literally 90 to 95% of our business. Our business has been explosive the last 18 months. And it's really because, again, you can get multiple modalities in the same small footprint. You can charge more money. They synergistically are better when they're together. It's a very fast service time. You don't have to sit in a salt room just for an hour. You can get all these benefits in a much shorter amount of time. So it's really about return on investment, return on time, return on space. That's why it's becoming 90 to 95% of our business for both the Halo IR and the Vitality booth.
I think I've seen on social media that there are a few companies out there already who have set up where there's, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 different Vitality booths, I think they might be. Is that what you're seeing as well, where people go in and you've got a whole host of these different, or same cabins for that matter, because there is the demand there now?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so that's called the Vitality Booth Wellness Center. And we've got about 5 or 6 of these franchises already set up and going. And tremendous response from their community. Again, it takes a minimum of 4 Vitality booths to have an exclusive area. And but yeah, it's absolutely booming. So yes.
Fantastic. That's great on these 2 items. Could you share a little bit more about some of the other products that Halotherapy Solutions perhaps supply? You are one of our sponsors, so I want to say a big thank you for that as well. And after the session, we'll play your video so that you can all have a look at some of these products that Steve is actually talking about. But I know you've got quite a repertoire of different products out there, halo generators and all sorts of things.
No, thank you for asking. So we have 2 Halo generators that are great for either a small salt room, up to 150 square feet, or a larger salt room up to 400 square feet. They're both the industry best in terms of technology and customer service, low maintenance, the less salt that they use. So they're 2 great Halo generators. We work with some of the largest companies in the world that have purchased our products. And recently, about 2-3 months ago, we came up with a Halo Lounge, which is basically a salt room in a box. So instead of necessarily using all your own walls or doing a lot of construction, this comes basically where you can really, like a do-it-yourself salt room. We can easily put up the glass walls. We have beautiful panels and bricks and salt on the floor. So it's called the Halo Lounge. So that's also becoming more popular. And again, salt rooms, we have a couple of design consultants that can help with installation and design. So we're completely full service in terms of our product portfolio.
I think there's also one other positive to point out on your cabins and booths and things like that, is that often the HVAC systems become an issue when you're designing a large room. But with your cabins, I believe it's correct that you don't need to have any specific ventilation for those.
Correct. And that's a huge, huge advantage, but it's expensive just kind of protecting your HVAC system, bringing people in. So yeah, everything is self-contained in our cabins, all our enclosures.
I think one other thing I want to kind of flag to those that are interested in halotherapy is that actually halotherapy is super cheap to kind of run, especially with the current kind of crisis going on at the moment, the economics and the cost of electricity, things like that, that with halotherapy, it is just a plug and play system. And as far as you plug it into a normal wall socket, and the cost of the salt is actually quite minimal also. I know when comparing it to, say, saunas and steam rooms, they have quite large power requirements. But with halotherapy, you don't have that. And I'm guessing, with these Halo IRs and Vitality boosts, these are cheaper items to run than some of these larger heat experience rooms also.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the salt costs about a nickel a session. I don't know what that is in British pounds, Great Britain pounds. And the electricity is also about 5 or 10 cents. So again, when you have no labor and you're pressing a button and you're charging, say, $1 a minute, it's anywhere from $20 to $45 for a person, and your costs are 10 or 15 cents, that's a pretty good margin and great return on investment.
And these smaller booths as well in cabins, you tend to spend less time in them, don't you? Because the salt concentration is a bit higher. So you can probably get away with what, a 20-minute session versus 45 minutes to an hour in a larger salt room.
Yeah, if you just want to only have the halotherapy session, yeah, 20 minutes is fine. If you want to have the combined halotherapy and infrared, we typically recommend 45 minutes, anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's a really good overview on the products that you've got to offer. How can people get in touch with you if they want to find out more?
The best way is go to our website, which is halotherapysolutions.com. And yeah, that's the best way. We have all our products there. We have a lot of great information about the halotherapy industry and research. We're a very friendly company. We have other great customers, and we'd love you guys to join to become one of our customers. What we've seen also with the therapy layer, which I wanted to just point out, is our people are reporting much, much higher return rates. Our customers are coming in at a much higher rate because they're getting just a lot more benefit from it. So that's another thing that helps also, obviously. And they're getting different people in. For example, if they only had salt and now they're adding infrared, they have people interested in infrared. If they have people only interested in infrared, they're coming in for salt. So we're seeing more and more new people coming in, and we're seeing people coming in more often, which is just great. You want to fill those seats, right? And make more cha-ching. So
yeah, I mean, that is a really good point for business. And certainly, you know, in the cooler months, people like to come in maybe with their arthritis and sit into the infra cabin, and can also benefit from the respiratory side of things with the halotherapy. So it really is a 2-in-1 option. So I'm quite excited about that. It sounds like a fantastic product.
Right. And the other thing you mentioned too about the crazy times we're having around the world these days, between inflation, wars, everything, people are much more stressed, right? They're not sleeping well. So halotherapy, both with the red light and the infrared, and even halotherapy alone, are really helping people de-stress. They can take time out, concentrate on their breath, make their lungs better, and they can also sleep better too. It gets rid of the inflammation in the nose, reduces snoring, and just allows you to relax. So I think in today's world, halotherapy, especially, you know, given the kind of COVID world of respiratory immunity, as well as sleeping and stress, halotherapy has never been more important. And when you layer different modalities like infrared or red light, it just gets way more bang for the buck and bang for the space.
And I don't see it as being one of those trends that's disappearing. If anything, you know, more and more halotherapy places are going to come up. More and more people are going to turn towards halotherapy as being a natural solution to respiratory conditions and general health and well-being. And I know from personal experience that I certainly wouldn't be without my salt room, and nor would my family. So
great to hear.
Here's to everyone getting salty and staying salty for many years to come. So thank you very much for joining us today, Steve. Much appreciated. And thank you again.
And thank for everything you do. It's really important to have such a great trade association like the World Halotherapy Association. So thank you very, very much for all that you do.
Thanks, Steve. All
Bye-bye.
right. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.